It's Fate time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the Sentinel Fate Grand Order Berserker Lancelot figure. Wow, what a story I have behind this one. I wasn't going to pick this one up. I completely slept on it because Sentinel before only released some 4-inch Nell Fate figures, which looked cool but were vastly out of scale and just way too small to go with the Figmas, so I didn't really have interest in it. So I thought the same about Lancelot. But turns out this guy is a completely different beast. He does have a great size and he looks fantastic from what I've seen. That's why I decided to pick him up after all. And now I'm gonna review him. Oh, but also one more thing to note. This box kind of sucks. You know, I don't really talk about boxes and whatnot, but this is like kind of flimsy. You don't even have a window on it. So, not a fan of the box, but that's not what we're here for. I want to have a look at the actual figure. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Fate content. Let's go. Oh boy, this thing is beautiful. And he does have some size, which is one of the most important aspects of a Berserker. He stands at about 17 centimeters to the top of his head, which means we are going up to 6.8, almost 6.8 inches tall for your size comparisons. Here's Jalter. We also got Salter, Bandai, Salamander's Intercessor, and Darkseid. Where do I even begin with this guy? I mean, the design. I love the design. I just really, first time taking out of the packaging, he does have a presence to it. He's big, he's detailed, and there's a lot going on throughout the armor. And it does look kind of Batman-ish, right? It's like a knight Batman. Now, first things first, the paint job. At first I was a little disappointed that they didn't put any metallic on it, but on the flip side though, you can tell it's still very shiny, especially under the lighting. And looking at Saber Altar, it's pretty much the same kind of paint they used here. Pretty much the same, I'm getting the same vibe from it at least. And the main thing about that is he will fit in with your Fate Figmas. That's why I had Saber Altar especially, because they look fairly similar. I just love the spiky design. Look at this helmet. You have all these layers under there. A little bit of black paint in the back. And you have this flappy stuff coming out of this helmet. I don't know what to call it. So just call it the flappy purple stuff. Which, what is this? What is this? That is just not acceptable, guys. But other than that, it is nice and rubbery. It will not get into the way or break off. And I appreciate that they added a little bit of black paint on the lower end to it. Inside of the helmet you do have a red line. It is barely noticeable. I would have liked it to be a bit more shiny, but then again, like, other than putting LEDs in there, I don't really know how you would create an effect where it really pops. So I guess that's fine. You got some crosses on the side which are black painted, and throughout the armor, that's really the style. You have the dark blue, and then you have a little bit of black on some emblems, on some stuff. And just look at this chest. Just look at all these claws and fangs and spikes coming out of the top, spikes in the back. He does have holes in here for even more spikes, which are like on like a bendy wire, but we'll get to that once I get to the articulation. Well, accessories more like. I don't want to have this in the way all the time. Shoulder pads. It's just like, it looks like dragon claws or dragon fangs going down throughout the arms. You have some more fangs, kind of like bat wings on the elbow sticking out, and a spiky bracelet, of course, and spiky gloves. And also throughout the entire armor, you kind of have like an underlayer in there, which you can see on the neck has some line work molded on there, and there's some more in the lower torso area and a little bit on the arms. Going down to the legs, you have some more of that. It really covers up the articulation very, very well. It's engineered so good. I splooge over that. So there's some more detail in there, a little bit of bolts, and in the back you have a long, not a long spiky piece. The knee pads, they look like Ryu Hayabusa's helmet. I don't even know. That's a very wonky and random reference, yes, but I just follow that. And then his shoes, more spikes. And again, all of this is very sharp. Keep it away from small children. They were not screwing around with this guy. They were like, he's gonna look menacing, and all the spiky stuff is gonna be spiky as hell. And I know I said spiky a lot of times, but look at this. I guess I could also call him edgy. Now getting to one of my favorite parts of this guy, the articulation, because it's absolutely fantastic as I disconnect the head. But then again, you can see there is a ball on a hinge. So let me get that right back on there, just to show you the movement. But first of all, you have the purple stuff, which is on the ball hinge. I already showed you that, so you can bring that up and down and rotate it on both ends. Then for the head, does move back and forth, does tilt side to side, and it does go all the way around. And if you don't like that, you also have neck articulation, can bring that back and forth a little bit side to side, and it would rotate also very freely with the head. The shoulder is absolute freaking genius. They have a hinge in there and it ends on a ball. If you can see, you can bring the shoulder just forward like that, the whole shoulder pad, and do get it out of the way for your articulation. Goes up, moves back and forth. Yes, this entire part has a little bit of wiggle motion. Isn't that lovely? And you just can tuck that back in once you're done with your articulating. And then you have bicep swivel, have a double hinged elbow, and the fist is on a ball hinge, brings back and forth, rotates all the way around. The chest area is a work of art. Look at this. Look at all these panels that line up oh so nicely, and you can bring this around over here, can bring it around on the lower half, does tilt side to side, doesn't really go to the back, but that is mostly due to the spikes on here. That really just blocks it a little bit, but then again, it is fine. And you also have the lower half, which does have a little bit of wiggle motion. Doesn't really accomplish that much, but it's alright, I guess. I mean, I'm not even mad, because considering all this, that's just genius. Now, unfortunately, the leg movement doesn't really convince me that much. That's as much forward as it goes, because it's kind of blocked by this. And this is not on ball joints or anything. This is just kind of connected. It is soft plastic, so it does move out of the way. Goes out to the side. Not much more than that, I think. It's kind of a weird joint that you can rotate in there. If you look under there, you can move it out, but then you also have some rotation on the thigh, basically. That's where it starts. And then we go to the back. So as I mentioned, thigh rotation is no trouble with that. Double hinged knees, and the foot is on the ball hinge that does go back and forth, makes an awful noise, and does also tilt side to side and rotates all the way around on the upper half of the ball joint, which I just completely screwed up. Now it's in there sideways, so let me fix that later. And you have a toe hinge to round off the articulation. Accessories! You don't get a lot, but you get the essentials, and boy oh boy are the essentials great. What the hell is this? Okay, that's in my camera, never mind. So first, here's the staff, which has some nice kind of lava going on in there. I just want to take a second real quick to take this paint job in. It is so clean, it is so nice, and it has been the case all throughout this figure. There's no bleeding here, there's nothing that really disconnects it, there's nothing that just goes over the line, or is not enough red, or is too much red, and just, that's been the theme of this figure. I've had zero complaints with the paint, and that's pretty rare in my case. And you have a beautiful looking sword with some real small chain wrapped around it, just to make it look even more authentic. Got some more scriptures in there in the black paint job, and a blue, dark blue blade, which just looks freaking fantastic. Oh, I love this. For the hands, you got two holding hands, which doesn't really have it completely closed, but you can see how they covered it out there for the sword. And all of these are also very, very spiky and very sharp. And two more claw hands. He has the fist hands already on the figure, and I guess that's all he needs. And then you have all these spiky bendy wires that just connect into his back. Let me show you. You can just bend this how much ever you like, and then put it into some cool poses. So I'm gonna try that out right now, see what I can come up with. But yeah, this bends really nicely and really fluently. So let's get him. Holy yes! This figure is, you know, I talked about presence earlier, and yeah, this guy has presence. He has plenty of presence. So, final thoughts, as I'm still thinking for anything bad I want to say about this. Well, the feet, I wish they were made of die-cast or something, because he's kind of hard to balance because of the nature of his relatively small feet. But then again, let's say, the goods. I love the design. The armor looks awesome. The paint job is amazing. The accessories are what they need to be, and you even have like all these spiky things that you can put on the back and articulate each on like the bendy wire. The articulation is freaking fantastic, and just this guy is exceeding my expectations and then some. Just I was kind of just going into this like, all right, just gonna get like Sentinel figure, blah 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 blah. But this guy's great, and price-wise, he is a little bit more expensive than Figma's, but not by that much. Really giving Figma one for their money. I gotta say that. So, I do 100% recommend this one, but I know he's sold out on most places, so fingers crossed, guys, you might find him, might be able to pick him up pre-owned somewhere, or maybe Sentinel does another run. Would be appreciated, because this guy is amazing. He has been selling out quickly, and I can see why now. Totally worth it, 100% recommended, an absolute killer addition to your Fate collection. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Lancelot wants. Not a damn thing.